Just when we recovered from the report system, Minecraft is removing name history, perhaps forever, and the effects that this will have on the Minecraft community are even more serious than you might think. There's a lot to talk about though, so I won't waste time. Just like, subscribe, play Manicube, etc. Let's get into it. If this seems sudden, that's because it is. Mojang sprung this on us with literally zero warning whatsoever, and it's going into effect in less than a week. The Minecraft name history API is going to be disabled, which means that the username history of all 40 million plus Minecraft players is going to disappear. But why? Why is this happening, and why now, especially, when previously Mojang has been clear and firm in saying they want name history to be public? Well, as they tend to do, they've released a short FAQ article on the Minecraft website to explain why, or at least pretend to explain why. Their entire explanation, and I literally mean the whole thing, is that they are removing public access to this information to better protect your privacy from bad actors and evildoers. This is about the most vague they could have possibly been, short of explaining their actions with, quote, "'cause it's bad." But there is genuinely a bit of merit to what they are saying, so let's cover the good that will be brought on by the change. A lot of players have historically included personal information in their usernames. Something like Levi Daniels 2004 isn't uncommon, and that's got a full name and a birth year in it, which is definitely not good for privacy. So in respects to that, yes, this is a good change, and I think this could help a lot of people. But does the good outweigh the bad? Well, I'm not sure. But what could be so bad about this? Why does username history matter? Well, if you've ever paid a visit to NameMC, MC Username, Labby.net, MC Skin History, or anything else, you'd know that username history is a pretty big part of account lookup services. And these are some of the most important and active Minecraft websites of, well, ever. More people search for NameMC than Planet Minecraft and Minecraft Forum combined, and those are huge pieces of Minecraft history. Yet today, username history, the thing these sites were all created for in the first place, will be disappearing from them, and I wouldn't be surprised if some sites like this even end up shutting down. I don't think it's the end for them all, especially as many of these sites have saved username history to their own servers, so they can keep showing names up to September 13th when the API will be disabled. On the other hand, things like the GDPR mean that basically anyone can contact these sites and demand their infos removed, and because it's not worth going to court or risking legal action over, they'll probably just say yes and the info will be gone. That is, if they ever even show the info they saved in the first place. Regardless, that's a pretty big change for some pretty big Minecraft services. That's not to say though that the problems are all fixed, so let's move on. Something really basic that isn't going to be very easy now is just finding people you know. Like, if you're ever looking for old friends or that one guy you played Xbox with in 2011 that logged off one day and never came back, you're gonna struggle to find them. Of course, if their name is exactly the same as it used to be, no problem. But a lot of people change over the years and their usernames change with them, so the chances of that are pretty low. On top of that, removing username history is going to seriously reduce accountability in a lot of players. Now, I'm not one to support going back 20 years to look at someone's online history and accuse them of being a terrible person for some dumb joke they made on Twitter in 2009. But even the earliest name history only goes back to 2014, meaning that most name history is quite recent. And if players are using their Minecraft usernames to be disgusting, I mean, watch my last video, Mojang just purged a ton of usernames with racial slurs and other horrible things, I personally think they should be held accountable for that, not have it erased from their online record. But this also leads into the second half of accountability, which is that not only will demeaning or insulting past usernames disappear, but so will any that could potentially link you to other accounts. For example, if your username was xbony and you had an alt named Boney2, if you got banned on one, it wouldn't take long for the other to follow, even if you changed your username to hide it. Now, with name history removed, evading bans will be easier than ever, since username history won't be able to help in finding who an account really belongs to, and all you really have to go on is in-game behavior, which usually isn't good evidence, and your IP, which a lot of people just change with a VPN and forget about. Again, not a very good side effect of name history disappearing across the entire game. But for those of you on my channel that have stuck around since the early days covering the account community, that's not all. name sniping as we know it may be a thing of the past. For those that are unfamiliar, name sniping is the practice of watching a desirable username, like that of a YouTuber or celebrity or a common word, and trying to claim it as soon as it becomes available. The process for this has usually been quite simple. For example, if you wanted the name Honey, you could look it up on a site like NameMC, and if the previous owner had changed their name, you could wait exactly 37 days and then the name would become available to anyone who wanted it. So if you were really fast, you could get a cool username and one worth a lot of money at that. But that's not gonna work anymore. Now, if you look up a username, you might know that it's been changed, but you won't know when. Honey could become available in 24 hours or in 24 days. And that means anyone specifically trying to snipe a name, whether a single person or a robot sending thousands of name change requests every second, won't know when to start. So what's gonna happen to sniping? Well, it's not gonna die, so don't panic just yet, but things are gonna change. Here's what I personally see happening. After this goes into effect for somewhere between a few weeks and a few months, it's going to be chaos, a free-for-all, a messy race of thousands of Minecraft players finding special names that were changed and trying to take the names themselves at random times of day and hoping to get lucky. But eventually, someone is gonna develop a bot that takes care of all the work for you, and here's how it would work. You would start with a list of usernames that you care about. This would likely consist of thousands and thousands of OG and semi-OG names, which are those valuable names I talked about before. Semi-OGs are just not quite as good versions. Then, instead of seeing when a name becomes available on NameMC and adding the drop time to your sniper, you would have the bot automatically monitor each and every one of those names so that when one gets changed, you know when to the exact second. Then you'd be able to schedule your bot to try and snipe it at that time, and if your bot was good enough, the name is yours. This is pretty similar to what already happens on big social media platforms like Twitter or Instagram, where they have bots called auto-claimers that constantly check if a username is taken, and as soon as it's changed, they steal it for themselves. The big problem with this, though, is simply the resources it takes to do something like this. You're a lot more likely to win a name when all your resources are being hard focused on one name at a time. But when you have to spread your servers and proxies across 10,000 names, you're either going to be paying for more processing power for your bot, or your chances of winning a snipe aren't very good. I'm not personally too experienced with bot sniping, as I only snipe the old-fashioned way with my eyes, a keyboard, and a mouse, but this could potentially lead to another monopoly like what we saw a few years back with Cheerful.Ninja. Only the people with the money to run bots monitoring thousands of names will be able to consistently have success with their snipes, which they then sell not just for profit, but to continue running the sniper, and thus the cycle continues. But hey, that's just my thoughts, I don't really know for sure. What I do know is that this is a huge change for Minecraft, and I'm very curious to see what happens over the next few months. Mojang seems like they're just getting started with the changes to their game, like reporting and removing name history, so who knows what's next. For now, we'll just have to wait and see. Thank you for watching, hope you all enjoyed, and also a big shout out to Manicube as always. Great parkour, lots of other fun modes, and overall just a really good server to play on. I also have an official IP now, mcbyt.manicube.com, so join that, have some fun. Otherwise, that's it, thanks for the support, and have yourselves a very good one. Peace.